Now, the most important thing that we just witnessed in this week's episode of Slime Diaries is that Rimuru has a doggy door that he rolls in through if he's not feeling up to it to transform into his human form in order to walk through that door. Bless this series and the cute absurdity moments that it brings up. Now, this week's episode kind of felt like a combination of so many different perspectives, as if it was a grab bag episode. Like, let's take a little bit of the kingdom, let's take a little bit of, oh, demon army, yeah, sure, demon lords, let's do that too. As you kind of have this very sweet yet hilarious reveal of Shizu coming back into the equation. And at first I was really confused. I was like, why is she coming to the village? Like, the whole point, like, she's dead, right? Rimuru consumed her body, and his form is basically that of Shizu, just in a slightly different coat of paint. But to actually see it was a spirit of her, and how she was just kind of phasing through. Seemingly, children could notice her or had a feeling she was there more so than the general humans. But it was really funny because in very much Slime Diaries fashion, they're building up something that's supposed to be emotionally driven, as if, wow, you know, this is actually incredible. I'm really proud of Rimuru. I wonder how good he's doing. And she's talking about how she's heard through the grapevine that he's actually taken up her appearance. And then you see him run in a bunny girl outfit, and she is just so embarrassed that essentially her body is being used like that. And I'm like, only in the Slime Diaries can you have a show and bring back a character who I think is incredibly memorable. We only knew her for a short amount of time in season 1, but she was really had this punch to her, brought up some interesting ideas to the show, and even towards the end of season 1 you get kind of like the flashback arc with her, right? But I love how, because Rimuru's body is pretty much that of her form, you never are able to really forget Shizu no matter what. She always lingers in your mind in some way, so to have her be brought back and you're thinking, oh, this is going to be this really emotional reunion, maybe because they're having a festival on the certain day, spirits will be able to be seen, and no, you just have the bunny situation where you have Shion and them just kind of chasing him as he's like saying, stop making me play dress up. But I have to say, the end of the episode where, after all the absurdity and after some of the sweeter moments, I appreciate how he actually has this little ritual for her and he's basically just paying his respect. And it's nice how, even though in the face of so much comedy and slapstick humor, you can have a moment where even though you would think he can't actually feel her or hear her, she's saying, I appreciate all you've done, you know, you're doing great. As long as you live a happy life, you're doing everything that I would ever want to do in my own life. You're doing everything I ever asked for you and more, just maybe not wear as many embarrassing outfits. And when he actually responded to her, I like the idea that rather than just reintroducing her because it's a festival where, oh, the ghost can be seen, it's something, it's a bit more sad, but I think it's a little more impactful by him actually being like, wait a second, who did I just respond to? But knowing there was still some closure there in some way, or a little bit of a reunion, even if temporary. This show absolutely knows how to just take all the content in the previous season 1 and just flesh out all the more. By the looks of the pacing, given the fact that, you know, Milim and things like that have just been introduced, I imagine Slime Diaries season 1 would probably end by closer to the timeline by the time season 1 should have ended, something like that. Just given the fact that we're episode 6 now, we have 12 episodes to watch, it just absolutely feels like that's what we're building up to, and I can already hope and begin to imagine that maybe we'll be lucky enough to get a season 2 of Slime Diaries to cover whatever season 2's content will take us in, right? Maybe it'd be a bit harder given some of the more emotional heavy plot points, but maybe you can just skate around those in the Slime Diaries, right? Either way, I absolutely loved how it was a combination. I mean, you have the whole idea of the marriage proposal, which was honestly one of the funnier moments in the episode, as you clearly know who this girl is in love with, and to have these as your options, and she's like, this is why I don't want to come home. I mean, there's so many like basic jokes on paper, like, oh, of like, okay, you're technically royalty, you're gonna have marriage offers, but of course you want to be in love with your general who's kind of commanding you and teaching you all his ways of knowledge and skills and things like that. But because it's the Slime Diaries, we don't have to have anything dramatic about it, like, you will obey me, you will do this or that because I am your ruler. No, it's just like, ah, shit, this is just some bullshit family drama, I'm out of here, right? It just felt like this was one of those episodes that it really was a grab bag, and sometimes grab bag ideas of just kind of like taking a bunch of random elements may not seem all that compelling. But when you really do look at so many different sides, like even the Dwarven Kingdom before they ultimately came and tried to see if Rimuru was a threat or not, The fact that they were talking about how they like to eat their slime. Do you like vinegar? Do you like this sauce? Absolutely absurd, but it's kind of funny twisting because their first interaction was a pretty brutal one, so by spicing it up with a little bit more of comedy, you don't really need to say like, did this actually happen? Is this canon? Is this no, it's just funny, and it's a way to appreciate the moments building up to it all the more. And that's what I like about it. I mean, it kind of just feels like the Nation of Tempest is like one party after another right now. But I mean, they deserve it, right? You get this moment between Rimuru and the other where back, I believe it was like episode 3 or 4 of season 1, you know, he meets up with a bunch of creatures and they're saying, name yourself, who are you? They're shaking in fear. And to see where those frightened little goblins and monsters were to where they are now, it's really incredible. That's why I like seeing creatures who've had to deal with starvation now not have to worry about hunger, or characters who were wondering if they were going to get eaten by a pack of wolves now get to just, you know, get clean, cool, crisp water from their well as they have party after party remembering the things that came before, passing down their history. The Slime Diaries is one of those shows that it doesn't like excuse mistakes or anything like that. I've seen some people say that. I've actually had comments saying that the only reason you like Slime Diaries is because season 1 messed up and you didn't get to know all the characters enough. No, I love season 1. Sure, there could have been improvements, I mean, as per any production really. The reason I like it is that it just makes you understand them more. It's not that, oh, now that I've seen the Slime Diaries, when I go back, now I can excuse shortcomings. No, it's more of, now that I've seen Slime Diaries, going forward with more story, I just really understand them more on a personal level. Even without the Slime Diaries, I felt that more often than not. Sure, there's certain aspects I wished were better or more developed, but when you have a nation this big, it's impossible to. I mean, even if you're writing a light novel, it would be pretty much impossible to give every single character in the Nation of Tempest a compelling arc that you don't want to skim over. I truly feel like the Slime Diaries is in a lot of ways some of the best content Slime has seen, just because you don't have the threats, you don't have the stakes, but it is just really getting the characterization better. And seriously, it's going to be really interesting to see how this season of the Slime Diaries is going to impact my viewing of part 2 of season 2, because one would think, I mean, season 2, we're going to be so much more connected now, and we're going to feel even more enthralled by the character personalities that, holy shit, I mean, if anything else bad happens, we were already pissed off with part 1 of season 2. Like, that's going to be kind of crazy for sure. Obviously, Slime Diaries will make rewatches more compelling because you have even more information and goofy and silly moments. But I think it's just one of those series that it needs multiple spin-off series in order to truly flesh out all the different aspects to it. Like, you could have a spin-off focusing just on the antagonist. You can have a spin-off focusing just on kids going to school. You could literally have a spin-off manga series that's in the style of Non Biyori, just following goblin children going to school. You could literally do 100 different series set in this world and have them all be just as interesting as the other. That's what makes, I think, the world of Slime so compelling and why I was so gripped early on in season 1. It was funny, it was sweet, it was ridiculous, and sometimes it is seriously way too beautiful for its own good. Like, when they focus on these like birds or these plants and scenery and the wildlife, I don't know why they go that detailed, but thank you for doing so because it's absolutely drop dead beautiful. Let me know your thoughts and feelings and definitely your favorite moment of this week's episode of the Slime Diaries down below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, share your support, and hit that subscribe button if you happen to be new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.